On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at the Revoltech series number 014. We're going to be looking at Jason Voorhees. Surprised to see Revoltech release a Jason Voorhees figure. Revoltech has covered different series throughout the time that they've been around, ranging from Transformers, anime figures. Very strange to see a Jason Voorhees. This is an import. It's produced and manufactured by Kyoto. Kyoto, is that the name? Give you a side profile, show you guys the packaging here. Sculpted by Takeya Takayuki. Great job. Great job. On the back of the package, shows you, first of all the accessories that the Jason Voorhees comes with. There's a read up. I'm not even gonna attempt to try to read that. One thing that I like, oh, and also on the side, Revoltech's famous articulated point of articulation. I think they've really perfected the idea of articulation. Oh, and there's some examples as well of some of the things that they've produced through the Revoltech line. But the one thing that I like about this is you can actually take the cover, open it up, and inside we've got some images from the Friday the 13th movies. I'm going to get this wrong. That looks like the image from Friday the 13th Part 1. Of course, we've got Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. We've got Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 8. Down below we've got Part 5, Roy. We've got Jason X, Jason, before he becomes Uber. We've got the Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason there, and finally we've got the poster from Jason X. On the other side, we've got the full view of all the things that make up this package. All the many weapons and tools that he comes with. Of course, the figure, the alternate head. There's a lot going on. Down below, there's also a Revoltech, I guess, Revo chip. 10 points. I don't know what you can do with that. I guess you can, if you collect them all, you can redeem them for something, possibly. Maybe. But that's packaging on the Revoltech series number 14, the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees. We're going to open this up, we're going to get everything together, and we will have ourselves a look at Jason Voorhees. Stay tuned. Alright, now that he's out of package, let's have a look. Oh, there he fell. He fell. Let's put him back up there. Pick yourself up, man. Let's have a look at Jason Voorhees. Before we begin, just want to show you guys the Revoltech point coin. Again, I don't really know what you're supposed to do with it, but it's there. Hold on to it. It might be worth something someday. We'll just put that aside. He also does come with a storage container, which I guess you could put these smaller accessories in. It's a little too big, for example, to house the weapons, but I guess you could put like the name plaque here, you know, and some of the smaller items. Should have actually been about that long, then you could put everything in there, but there is that. Put that aside. He does come, as I was just talking about, the name plaque there. A little misleading. It says Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, 1980. 1980. This Jason looks like it's definitely depicted from Friday the 13th Part 3, which would not have been from 1980. But I guess it's the character and then the title of the series that he came from, and then the date of the first entry. It's possible. Like for example, if they had done like Freddy Krueger from, I'm throwing this out here, from A New Nightmare, they might still have put Nightmare on Elm Street and then the date of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the only logic I can think of. He does come with that. You know what? I think probably it's easier just to show you guys. Actually, I'll move him out of the way here. I'll show you guys the display that he comes with. The barn area. A broken piece of fence there. We also got the noose. Sadly, for how tall the figure is versus the noose, you know, you can't really recreate him hanging because, well, first of all, it wasn't inside the barn, but it is definitely, you know, it's too short. But it shows for a nice back display piece. There's also pegs on the floor that you can have him standing on it. So there you go. It comes with that. Let's have a look at Jason Voorhees. And to give you guys a size comparison, because I know it's probably hard to look at this and gauge how big this guy actually is. So what I'll do, I'll bring in, he's not quite the same figure, but I'll bring in the Jason Goes to Hell Jason. As you can see, he's a lot smaller by about, what, half? He goes to about his elbow. And to give you guys a further size comparison, I'll bring in the Mezco Cinema Fear smaller scale Jason. As you can see, he is taller. So he's one of those figures that are kind of in between different scales of figures. You can't really put him with much. You kind of have to just have him on his own. So let's have a look at Jason. It is very nice. As I mentioned, he's obviously depicted from the Friday the 13th Part 3. I always referred to this as the hunched Jason. He looks like the hunchback. He is a nice figure. I mean, his shirt is that kind of rubbery plastic. He's definitely well articulated. I'll get into that in a second. I'll show you guys first the helmet, the hockey mask. Focus, there we go. It's nicely detailed. The paint's pretty clean on it. You can of course take this off. And underneath, first of all I'll show you guys the hockey mask. There we go. It's a little more secure, a little more durable than some of the other removable hockey masks. I always worried that these straps would break right off on the other ones, but this one's a nice rubbery. It's rubbery enough that, you know, I don't think it's going to come off. And then underneath we've got the lovely mug of Jason Voorhees. Very neat. His head can rotate left and right. You can also move it up and down. He also has a removable head. If I can just take this off without doing any damage. I'm a little concerned with how small some of these pegs are, so be careful when you do take these out. He also does come with a bloodied face, or head I guess. Snapping into place. This is the part I always dread, is putting things back on, because they never go on right away and very easily. There we go. And there you got the bloodied Jason. The gouge in the top of his head. Look how gruesome that looks, eh? You can certainly put on the same hockey mask if you want, but they also did give you it's a bit warped. They also give you the hockey mask with the cut in it. So you can match it up. Like so. And you can have Jason with the cut in there, and then the blood running down the neck, which is very neat. The mask is a bit warped, but still does the trick. Other accessories, other things that he does come with, there is actually a lot. He has straight hands, as you can see. I don't know really why you would want these hands. I guess you could kind of have him running. You could have him running with the open hands, but for probably what you're going to be using it for more often than not, if I can get it off, he also does come with interchangeable hands, which will allow you to hold items. His hand's very cool. I want to talk about that, but I won't talk about it just yet. He also has another removable hand, if I can pull that off. And we'll put that on. What's he holding? Oh, he's holding a human head. I don't remember in Friday the 13th Part 3 him ever holding a human head. I might have to watch that movie again, but I don't remember that scene. But he does come with a human head. The thing is, like, this figure is based on, loosely based. It doesn't really necessarily tell you a specific movie that he's from. So you could just argue the point, well, it's Jason. I'm sure at some point he's had a human head in his hands. So he does come with that. I'm not one to necessarily include that, or at least put him on display with it. So I might actually just put his regular open hand back on. There we go. And then with this hand, he has a wide range of weapons. And we'll go through those individually. He comes with an axe. Ooh, no, it's not actually sharp. No, it's not sharp. He comes with a saw. He saw. He comes with, is it a shovel? It's just a basic shovel. He comes with a pickaxe. He comes with an axe, which actually, while we are at it, you can actually take the axe and wedge it, until it falls out. You can actually take the axe and wedge it into his head. Very gruesome, just like that. And then he can have the scene. He also does come with a pitchfork. He comes with an axe. And finally, good old reliable, he also comes with a machete. Which probably most people will end up having him hold, is his machete. Now, in the way of his articulation, this is where the figure gets really interesting. Despite the fact that it looked like his head is all one piece, his neck and everything else is snapped in just with a peg, you can still move the head left and right. You can move the head also up and down. These shoulders, you can move out. You can rotate them. You can bend at the elbow and you hear that little click. Can you hear that? That's Revoltech that you're hearing, baby. You can also rotate the arm, the elbow, or I guess the forearm. You can bend, you can rotate the hand, but also what's interesting is that his hand is on an actual, I think you guys can see that, it's on an actual lever where you can swivel the hand back and forth. So even though you've got his elbow bent, you can still get a little bit of movement where you can have the hand up, the hand down. That is very cool. He's also got waist articulation. You can kind of bend it, I guess, as well. The leg bends out, bends back. Doesn't really bend out. The knee bends. Nice clicky sounds. You rotate at the lower leg. The foot bends. You can also rotate it left and right as well. Gotta say, I like the figure. I mean, some of the articulation might be lost now because, you know, there are so many figures that have this kind of articulation now. But back in the day, I mean, Revoltech was really one of the toys that was, you know, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, really paving the way, I guess, for some of the figures to come. And to get a Jason like this in a Revoltech is very cool. Yes, the scale is a little off. You can't necessarily put it with many other figures, other horror figures, But he has a nice display, and you can kind of just put him there, and he looks very cool. Revoltech Jason, I'm going to give a 7.52. If you're a Friday the 13th fan, you already have this guy. If you haven't picked him up, I would say give him a try. You might only be able to find him in specialty stores, but certainly you can try also Big Bad Toy Store and eBay for him as well. Now he is an import, so he might set you back a bit more than say some of the other figures you've picked up in the past, but he is a neat looking figure. I love the little clicking sounds too. So today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Revoltech Jason Voorhees. Very, very cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.